Hello, traders. We are a little more than 3 hours into the trading session. Today is Friday, September 4th. Had an unemployment report come out this morning. We've seen some heavy selling, but you are already prepared for that because in the last 2 weeks I've told you that this market rally is getting very overextended and that we could see a couple of big red candles. Wednesday night, right here, when the market made a new all-time high, I put out my video to my members and I said, listen, we're not going to be putting on any new bullish put spreads. We've got some nice ones way out of the money that we've been able to establish. We're going to ride those. I'm fearful that we're going to see a correction. When I did that video, I said, don't think that this is going to be a slow process. These sell-offs off of a climax are very, very fast and very, very furious. It could be a couple of hundred S&P points. From the high Wednesday to the low today, we've dropped about 240 S&P 500 points. There's a lot of pain out there right now. Now, this is a warning sign. It wasn't any kind of news. Everybody's trying to justify why this happened. This is profit taking. Stocks got overheated on the upside. Nobody asked why stocks were screaming higher and reaching these peaks. But now that it's selling off, everybody's looking for a news event. Why is this happening? Been telling you why for the last couple of weeks. A lot of indicators showing us that we're overextended. We need these pullbacks. This pullback is going to provide us with a great opportunity to enter new bullish put spreads. Do you do it right here? Do you do it right now? If you're a nimble day trader, yes, we've actually absolutely been doing that through the course of the day today. But we can expect another retest of this low. Let's take a look at the technicals. Now, you know that I've drawn this upward sloping trend line here from this point right here through this point right here, and that's the upward sloping trend line. And you can see how today we poked through it and now we're back above it. This 338 level was the prior high from February. That was a critical support level. You can see how we've also bounced above that. I believe that level is going to hold today. And I'm seeing some pretty positive signs in the market today as well. The rally, the bounce is happening early in the day. That means we've got a chance to recover most of the losses today. We had 1.37 million new jobs created during the month of August. In the jobs report today, that was better than expected. So that is not weighing on the market. And if anything, that should be helping a market bounce this afternoon. Now, I don't completely trust that number because we've had initial jobless claims averaging about 1 million over the course of the last 4 weeks, and we had a weak ADP number. They actually process payrolls for small and medium-sized businesses, so I really trust their number. Don't completely trust this unemployment report that we saw today, but the market does, and that's really all that matters. So we're going to take a look at the 5-minute chart. Let's see what happened yesterday during the big market sell-off. Let's see how that 1OP indicator performed. I don't believe I did a video yesterday during market hours, so let's see what we did. Had a really nice bearish cross where? Right here on the open. Bingo. Thank you very much. I did not short right away. I waited for this new low of the day right here, and that long red candle got short, covered the short in here, made about 25 S&P points. That was nice. I did play this little bounce in here, but I told members, I said, when you play this bounce, be very, very careful because this is going to be very short term. We are likely in a bearish down trend day. And that's exactly what happened. We floated lower the entire day. So you can see we had a bullish cross right in here. It was early, it was right about there. So you had to take a little bit of pain in there, but we didn't buy there. We waited for the market to come in. And when I saw half of this red candle retrace, that's where I started buying. I was only looking for quick profits. Trying to recall the stocks I traded. I think I was long Z, DOCU, and Alta, made money on those. But then this was the move to really capitalize on as the market continued to drift lower. You see that bearish cross right there, right in there, and you've got your upward sloping M5 trend line right in there. Once that was breached, you had a nice entry point for a new short. So that's how yesterday played out. How did the indicator do this morning? Well, we have this nice little bounce on the open, which incidentally yesterday I had mentioned to members in the chat room. I said, look, everything finished on a really nasty note here. We had just a tiny little bounce off the low late in the day. I said, look for a bounce on the open tomorrow. We're going to get that bounce, and you can even read my pre-open market comments today. I post them on YouTube. I'll have a link in my description like I always do for my YouTube page, or excuse me, for my Twitter feed. If you went in and read Twitter this morning, you could have seen my comments that said, folks, we are not going to rally until the bid is tested. That early pop is going to be a short. It's exactly what it was, and it was a painful one. It was much more painful than I had imagined. I thought we'd pull back a little bit, we'd test the lows right here, but as soon as we had that long red candle below the prior day's low, I knew we were in trouble. Then we really sold off. Now things are actually firming up and they look pretty good. So I'm going to tell you where the market's going to go the rest of the day, but let's continue this analysis. 1OP indicator, short right here on the open. Hello. Nice long big trough here. Get a nice bullish cross. So on this drop right here, I made 20 S&P points. Didn't want to get too piggish down in here. I doubled up on a position. I felt this is a really nice position. I did not buy here. Bought a little bit right in here. Waited for that drop. Bought more in here. Took a 15-point S&P gain. So I'm up 35 S&P points. Anytime you can do that, it's a good day. Down in here, I also took a long position in stock that was starting to flash on my relative strength 30 screen, and that's one that I want to show you that I think will perform well during the course of the day if the market is able to regain itself. So you can see we've got a higher low, double bottom. That's a good sign. We're also above that major trend line that I showed you. We're also above that horizontal support level at SPY 338. I believe that SPY 338 will hold the rest of the day. In fact, because this bounce has happened early in the day, I believe that the market's going to continue to grind higher today. This will be a good entry point for us to day trade from the long side. I'm going to be taking a lot of overnight shorts. I'm going to be selling a lot of bullish out of the money put spreads today? No. I still think we've got some work to do on the downside. That was a shot across the bow. I think that we are going to see some buyers come in, but then I think we're going to retest this low probably next week, maybe in the next 2 weeks or so. This is profit taking. There is some selling pressure. Buyers are not going to be nearly as aggressive as they've been in August, which incidentally was the best August we've seen in 30 years. So what do I see today? Here's what we currently have to be careful of. We've got this bearish 1OP cross right here. But when we get strong upward momentum, we often see the indicator come down, 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 down like this. And then we get a bullish cross. And if all of this happens while the market is flatlining and compressing, that's what we call a bullish divergence. And when we get that cross down in here, hello, then we're going to continue to move higher. That'll be a fantastic entry point. For right now, we see a couple of tails above body, nice little compression in here. I think we move sideways while I do this video, and I think we see this indicator continue to come in. This is all I need to trade during the day. If I get big market moves, I'm going to be trading S&P futures in size. If we get small intraday ranges on the market, then I'm going to be favoring individual stocks with relative strength and relative weakness. That's how I trade. So let's take a look at some stocks right now, and I'll show you one that I did earlier today. Yes, I did a Lotto trade today, and AMD was coming up. Let's see what we've got on the relative strength 30 list right here. So you can see market doing nothing. These stocks are actually strong relative to the market right now. And I am long Alta from earlier today, and that position's doing okay. My average cost is here about 241 or so. I think that this stock is going to continue to push higher. It has been strong relative to the market. Let's go into the D1 chart. You can see how we had this nice gap up after earnings. You can see how that gap has held. Look at what the stock has done during the last couple of days during this market bloodbath. So you can see how it's moving higher, and I believe that this stock is going to continue to perform well. We'll put one OSI up, and you'll be able to see that relative strength. Orange line above zero on a daily basis. This stock wants to go. I like Alta. I think it's going to perform well. I think it's one that you can hold overnight if the market gains some strength and momentum. Here's another stock that I want to show you. Now, it's not going to look great on a daily chart, but it's going to look really good on a 5-minute chart. Here you can see 1, 2, 3 lines of support. We have this breakout here after earnings. So this is a very significant, great support level for AMD. Now let's put up that M5 indicator. And you can see how during the course of the market decline, it was actually above zero. That's why it was coming up on our relative strength 30 search. So I'm going to overlay the S&P so you can see exactly what was happening. Here you've got the gray line, S&P 500, market down, 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 down. And look, we had a little bounce, and then we had a retest. This is where that bullish hammer came into play. And I was telling everybody in the chat room, folks, right now, please go out and find these stocks that have really good relative strength. Find the big boys, find the liquid options. Let's buy some. So on this drop right in here, that gray line is the market. You can see how it's down, down, down. What did the stock do? It held its own. This is when I bought the $80 lottery calls that expire today. I bought them for 55 cents. I sold them for a 100% profit at $1.10. So, nice trade. We do lotto trades all the time. Now, the true lotto trades are done in the last hour of trading. I'm going to be looking for them today. So, if you think you'd be interested in seeing some of those, take the free trial, come in and watch what we're doing into the close today. We need market movement. We need a market tailwind. If we've got that, we're going to be using a lot of different searches in Option Stalker to find these opportunities. And the way that I like to play them, mind you, they're going to be expiring in an hour. So the option premiums are super, super cheap. You've got to be very, very, very patient on these trades. Everything has to line up. So we're swapping ideas in the last hour of trading in the chat room. We're looking for these opportunities. We're buying options that trade for 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, and we're selling them for 100, 200, 300% profit sometimes. What I like to do is I like to buy the options. I immediately set a target for 100% profit for half the position. Once I hit that target profit, now I have a free position for the other half. I can manage it. Things get a little intense in the last hour of trading, so I don't have to worry about it because I've got a free trade. And sometimes the biggest move comes right in the last 5 minutes of trading. So it's nice to be able to hold onto those options. I want to buy them slightly out of the money, but I want to buy them on stocks that have a chance to push in the money. Then I've got very high deltas and the options start moving point for point so the market makers can't play games with me. That's how we do the lotto trades, and there are probably going to be some that set up. So you can see how the market is actually starting to roll over a little bit here. We're on a bearish 1OP cross right here. How do we use this indicator anyway? I mean, what's the deal? You can trade the S&P futures as I've shown you, but this is also a way for us to know when to take profits. So many times I've got people asking me, Pete, I keep getting out of my trades early. I don't know what to do. I just keep panicking out of my winners and then they go crazy. This indicator told you today, get long here. When we rallied up here, now it's getting overextended. This is a time that you want to start taking profits on your positions. It's time to get out if you're day trading. You get across, does that mean that I'm going to get short right away? No, 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 no. We have an upward sloping technical support line right here. If you wanted to be more aggressive with it, you could draw it like that. We're coming down to it. So that is how you would trade the 1OP indicator. And in fact, you had a similar situation yesterday with that nice little cross right there. We get this little pop. You get your upward sloping trend line that you can draw visually right there as soon as we're below it. Okay, you can get short here. Test the low. Okay, we poke around for a little bit. Eventually that low caves in. We continue to go down. You could see there weren't any big bounces yesterday, and that's a sign that every time the market tried to rally, smack, the sellers would just nail it because they're trying to sell any possible bounce. long tails above body here. Also a great sign that here we go, nope. Here we go, nope. That bar finishes on its low. This is an excellent sign that we're going to be headed lower. Market tries to bounce and it just can't. Right now, you saw the same type of price action. So watch those tails above body, and that will be an indication of selling pressure. So right now, I'd be sidelined, wouldn't be doing anything in the middle of the day. I do suspect, though, that we got this nice early bounce. I'm kind of looking for the market to be able to recover some of its losses. We'll go into that daily chart. Very important heading into the weekend. We've got some major support levels that we're leaning on, in particular that 338 level on the SPY. I want to see the S&P 500 close above 338 today. If it doesn't, that's not going to be a good sign for it going into next week. A lot of the tech stocks really getting hammered. So let's talk about the bad news. Because there is bad news. I had some bullish put spreads on. They're way out of the money. I'm going to show them to you because it's important for you to understand when to hold them and when to fold them. There's a song about that. I'm going to go into lists. These are my bullish put spreads right here. Amazon, got a little tricky for us today, and we're still not out of the woods. So you can see here, we are short the 30.75 puts on Amazon, and we're long to 30.70 puts. Oh, that's no problem, right? We're about 150 points out of the money with a few hours left of trading. Look at how low the stock got today. You can see the low was at 31.20. We were only 50 points out of the money on that bullish put spread. Now it expires today and we got $1 for it, so that's going to be a 25% winner. Man, talk about nerve-wracking, but I am expecting Amazon to hold its own today. I'm not expecting the market to make a new low for the day. I'm certainly not expecting this stock to make a new low for the day after a nice bounce like that. It's got some buyers in it. Taking a look at another one, Microsoft. Microsoft has been absolutely pounded. I'm going to take off the SPY overlay so that you can see what's going on here. I think you can learn as much from the losers as you can from the winners. At least I do. I probably learn more from the losers because I never want to put my head into that noose again. Microsoft. Yesterday, we get this big drop. I did not like that. That is not characteristic of Microsoft. You can look through this whole chart in here, even through the sell-offs that we've seen previously. That's one of the biggest sell-offs I've seen in that stock. Now, I don't know if this has to do with them paying a lot of money for TikTok or what it is, but when I see it, I don't ask questions. I know that's relative weakness. So last night I sent a email out to all of the members and I said, we are going to buy that Microsoft spread back in. It expires September 11th. We were short the 212.50 puts and we were long the 210 puts, and we were leaning on this breakout. 1, 2, 3. Those are all significant resistance levels. Now that means it's significant support once the stock crosses above it. Well, when we came right down to that level yesterday, I knew that this stock was in trouble. So I also felt that we'd get a bounce on the open this morning. We were still out of the money. I told members, try and buy that spread back for $1. Well, we were able to get out for, on average, about 85 cents this morning. We put it on for 50 cents, so we lost 35 cents on it. From my perspective, the money that we make on Amazon when it expires today is more than going to offset the loss that we have on Microsoft. And man, am I glad to be out of this one, because this stock, you can see it's at roughly $210. Now that spread would be all the way in the money and we would have a headache. So we dodged a little bit of a bullet there. The rest of our spreads I really like. AZN is down a little bit. It's a little bit above our short strike price at 52.50, excuse me. That was the low of the day. That's also a horizontal support level. This stock does not move around much, so I think we're going to be okay on that one. Alibaba, There we're short down in here around the 262.50 level. So I think we're going to be fine on that. You can see the really big bounce here. 1, 2, 3 lines of support. Everything's looking good there. These will expire a week from tomorrow, which incidentally, we've got a holiday Monday. Tuesday's probably going to be a pretty light day also, especially if the market's able to hold that 338 support. We'll probably take a breather for a couple of days. That's going to help our bullish put spreads because we're trying to take advantage of accelerated time decay. So right now, we're trying to manage our positions. We're trying to evaluate the market. That's why I've been urging you for the last couple of weeks to go to cash if you're a longer term swing trader, because what happens is you're trying to milk the last leg of this rally out, and then all of a sudden you get the door slammed in your face right here. So you spend all of your time trying to adjust positions. You're worried about them. You've got some problem children that you're having to babysit, when all the while you should be watching this market come in and you should be rejoicing, because now you're looking for opportunities instead of worrying about your losers. So I don't care that I'm not able to milk this last little bit of the rally out, because I know that the drop is coming. And if I don't take a lot of positions, I can spend my time finding new opportunities. That's how you have to trade. Now, along the way here, I had plenty of people sending me all sorts of nasty emails and comments saying, you're an idiot, this market's going to go higher. I just have to deal with that because I do wear my opinion on my sleeve for everyone to see every day. I just have to do the right thing by myself and by my members. So we're getting the sell-off. There's going to be a retest. It's going to be similar to this. Big drop. Uh-oh. Little bit of a bounce. You don't want to be buying this bounce. You want to wait for that retest. And that's the one that we want to be more aggressive on. But we want to make sure also that that low holds. And once we have that confirmation, then we can get aggressive. Not before. Because here's what could happen. Nice little sell-off, get a little bounce, everybody gets excited, here we go, go. Uh-oh, drifting lower. So these people who bought too early start panicking and they start selling out of their position, and then you get one of these, right straight down. Let me go back and show you that, because that's a really important point. So here's the big drop back in here. So here we go, we're selling off. Uh-oh, that was a big drop. Yeah, but look at it come back. This is a nice buying opportunity. That coronavirus, it's not going to be anything. Here we go. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And then you get that. This is not what we want to see over here. And that's why we need to be a little bit careful here. How deep is this profit taking going to be? I don't know. I know at a forward PE of 23, the S&P 500 is certainly overvalued. So we could see additional profit taking. I also don't think Q3 is going to be that V-bottom economic recovery because of the second wave of the coronavirus. So we could see more selling. That support could crumble. We don't want to get long until we rally a little bit, come back, test it, rally again. Okay, now I got 1, 2 lines of support. Now I can be pretty confident that the market's going to take off. And once that happens, then I can start selling some out of the money bullish put spreads. And during that bottoming process, I can evaluate stocks and see which ones held up the best. Those are the ones that are going to be leading the charge higher. Those are the ones that I'm going to be selling out of the money bullish put spreads on. So back to AMD. I was showing you that a little bit earlier, and that actually looks like it could be a pretty decent one for us to look at. And I like the fact that it had that relative strength in here. Go into the 5-minute chart. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a market pullback in here. Nothing too damaging. How would I trade this right now? How would I interpret it? Long red candle closing on its low. Compression right on that low. This is where bears have to get something going right away. Another red candle here would tell me that we're in trouble. We've got this upward sloping trend line right here that's been breached on the downside. This would be a good shorting opportunity. Hey, let's try and find some shorts. Let's see what's going on the short side. Go into bearish here, take a look at some bearish searches, take a look at heavy selling. See what we've got right now. You can see tech, 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 all the way down in here. So let's plug through a few of them. You can see what's going on with AMD. Yep, that's also rolling over. That is Facebook. That's probably a decent short in here. And you can see I like to have the market side by side with the stock. And here's what I can tell. You can see right here that Facebook has pulled back pretty sharply. You can see how it's dropping right in here, and it's dropped more than the market has. So it has relative weakness. But I also know that because all I got to do is look at that orange line on a 5-minute basis. If it's below zero, I know the stock is weak relative to the market. Or I can just click through this chart right here because I know that one of the parameters here for relative week 30 is going to be that the stock is weak relative to the market. Well, that's my cushion. That's my edge. You can see here, NVIDIA really starting to come in. So if I went to the chat room right now, I'd see members in there going, short Netflix, short NVIDIA, short Tesla, short Adobe. Members in the chat room see people shorting, and they look at the scans and they go, oh, I know exactly why they're shorting those. I'll bring up the chart and go, yep, there it is. Here you've got double top. You got the support right here that's been violated. Got the stock really coming in hard relative to the market. So on a stock like this, you can short it with confidence, orange line below zero, because you know that if the market gave you a head fake and went zoom, and this was a bullish flag formation, zoom right up through that high right in here, then the stock would barely participate because the sellers are lined up. They're pounding it. They're pounding it. Every little bid they're hitting. They're hitting. So if the market took off, you'd be able to exit this trade maybe at a small loss, maybe at a break even, maybe even making money on it. But if you traded the futures and you're short the futures here and you got one of those, you're going to lose money for sure. That's how it works. That's why we prefer to trade underlying stock. So right now you can see the market is pausing right in here. Don't really know if this starts to really gain some momentum in here. It's not going to bode well for the market because we'll probably take out that 338 level. And man, if we take out this low of the day, it could really get nasty. I hope that's not going to happen because it's going to send us into probably more selling into the close, people not wanting to be long over a long weekend. So again, I hope that doesn't happen. We'll just have to see how this plays out. The selling pressure this morning, I'd mentioned to you, is already heavier than what I thought we would see. I thought we would sell off hard, come test this low, bounce around, maybe shake out a few stops in here, and then start to gradually grind higher earlier in the day. So the fact that this took about an hour and a half to unfold was pretty bearish, and the fact that we fell this far was also fairly bearish. So let's see what else we've got here. Adobe, let's see what that's doing. You can see how nice and steady that selling's been. That's a support level that's been violated. You can see this upward sloping trend line right here that was also violated. Relative weakness right in there. Tech stocks are the ones that are seeing the most selling because they have run up. Well, let's take a look at the QQQ and that'll answer your question on why these are getting hit so particularly hard. That's where most of the gains came from. Look at that rally in there. I mean, this has been so overbought. It's been incredible that it was able to rally like that. So, long red candles, tech stocks are where you want to look for shorting opportunities today. Here's a great exercise. I'm going to finish on this note. Look at these stocks. Right now, these are all very viable shorts, okay? Here's what I love to do. When I start getting a little bit of market weakness like this, I love going in and clicking relative strength 30 because I want to see what is moving higher. Look at UPS hold that breakout right there. UPS actually looks pretty good today. Okay, I'm not saying that I would want to swing this stock, especially with the market drop that we've had, but if I'm looking at a market bottom with a possible rally up, then this is the stock that's going to lead the charge. So let's go into the M5 chart. Look at how strong this stock is. So if you get a market bounce, UPS is one that you want to be in. This could be one of the Lotto trades today. RCL. Now, cruise line, travel and entertainment stock. Don't know how excited I can get about buying one of these. Take a look at the daily chart. You can see nice upward sloping trend line. You can see that it's through that horizontal resistance level. Still got to get through this resistance right in here. I'm going to click that for my own future reference, GTC. Going to click on that high. If it gets through that, yeah, then the stock's actually looking pretty dang good. Alta was another one that was strong earlier today. Let's take a look at that. Let's see how that's doing. That could be another one that you want to buy in a bounce today, but it's been super choppy today. So not the best situation for it. FDX is also one with UPS. Look at that strength. You can see how the stock is flirting with the high of the day. Let's throw an alert up there. That way I'll know if it breaks out of it. Yes, that could be a good one. Boeing also. So transports are catching a pretty decent bid in here. And you can see how Boeing also has been really strong. Most importantly, right here where the market is down, 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 Boeing holding its own. Does that mean I'm holding Boeing over the weekend? No, I am talking about day trades. I would not hold any longs over the weekend. As I've mentioned to you, I still think there's work to be done on the downside for the market. So, no, simply talking about day trades right now. That's all I'm doing is day trading today. I will not be taking long positions until I see the second retest of the low that we put in today. I want to see that support. Once I'm sure that it's there, then I can start considering some long positions. That's how we trade every day, folks. This is how we do it. I hope that for some of you, if you're day traders, please come take the 2-week trial. We're making a lot of money in the trading room. We've got a lot of great professional traders in there who know the system. They're posting their trades exactly when they get in and exactly when they get out. For those of you who are swing traders, I hope that you're in cash right now watching the market. There's going to be an opportunity that sets up. If you turn on your notifications and you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you're going to know when it's time, because I'm going to tell you in these videos that I post daily. I'm also going to do a video Monday evening, Labor Day. I'll take a look at the overnight markets, see what's happening overseas, see how the trading week is setting up next week. Have a great Labor Day weekend. We'll see you Tuesday morning. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.